So here, while I'm thinking about Christ's table, I'll tell you another story, or I'll make another observation about my experience as a homeless person in a poverty kitchen. It's funny to me, it's really frustrating to me, but I've come to a point where I'm able to Ouroboros my way around, or whatever. I meant the Mobius strip, the three-dimensional Mobius strip that goes inside itself. Able to do that, able to intellectually and emotionally pretzel myself into the position where now I find it funny. But all of the dudes are just super rude that work there. Super rude, just hyper rude. And see, it's not just to me, and it's not just to the men, it's to everybody. They're just hyper rude to fucking everybody. And it's like, you volunteer here, bro. But it's the funny thing is that the reason they volunteer there is to pay off the debt that they feel to society for being a prick to everyone everywhere. And so it's like, because they're volunteering, they don't have an HR guy over top of them telling them how they have to behave. They don't have a front of house manager telling them that they have to smile and they have to say hi and they have to be nice. So they just act the way they're going to act, but they do it in the name of Jesus. But they are doing genuine good. Like, there's this dude who feeds me hot hands every time I'm in there, and it's just so funny because he doesn't want anything to do with a conversation with me at all. Now, I'm the kind of dude who just focuses on what I'm doing. I stay to myself. I don't really engage. I try to keep my head down, in fact, because I have PTSD around being more intelligent than the average person. And so I'm certain that there's a certain amount of what this guy hates about me is how intelligent I am. And I know there's a certain amount of why he's rude to all of us in particular, and why he doesn't actually change his approach or practice changing his approach there like you're supposed to. That's the point in volunteering, is to practice changing your approach toward everyone, toward the people who are most vulnerable and most actually, in fact, beneath you in class and status. But the reason he doesn't, and what he convinces himself of the reason he doesn't, is that if people see him in a safe place treating them like dog shit, they'll want to not come back there, so they'll get their lives right. And that's why I won't go to the Salvation Army, is because that's how they treated me when I went there, just to ask them what their hours were. Like, don't even come here, just get your life right first. But there's also a certain amount of, I was talking about how being in there was a real bummer during the holiday season. The energy was also really low in the kitchen. And that is because the women are doing empathy upside down and inside out. Like that Mobius strip I was talking about, they've pretzeled themselves into an unnatural position vis-a-vis emotion. Vis-a-vis empathy, which is emotion. But because they've been conditioned to it, because the people that go in there, if you say something nice to them on a hard day, all they're going to say is something negative, and they're going to say it in a way meant to hurt your feelings. But that's why they're poor.